up? Big Herc 916, positivity, motivation. You know, we do it over here. Go to bigherc916.com, pick up some merch, represent, get a custom hoodie, get you a t-shirt, a hat, or bar soap, and wash your ass. You know, it's a lot of talk about what really happened in Hawaii and Maui and the fires, and just how politicized it's become, and the natives that have been there for years, they've been trying to get them out of there. And if you look back to 2018, I believe they were already talking about making that a smart city. But how did they intend to do that with these people who had no intention of selling? So when we start getting into like conspiracies, and you put the tinfoil hat on, you start talking about weather control, you know, lasers and all this stuff, man, it gets pretty interesting. So I want you to check this out.
You know, they were talking about climate change yesterday, and now we're learning that scientists and researchers are looking at how to change the weather on purpose. That's right. Lasers now could one day manipulate rain and lightning. CBS This Morning contributor Michio Kaku is a physics professor at City College of New York. Professor, nice to see you. Extraordinary seeing Al Gore and Bill Clinton there together with Charlie, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, they did not get into this discussion, though. But it is fascinating. I mean, lasers, really, to change the weather?
That's right. Well, as Mark Twain once famously said, everyone complains about the weather, but no one ever does anything about it. Well, instead of doing a rain dance, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is potentially a game changer.
But this is experimental.
It's experimental. However, in the laboratory so far it works. When you have water vapor and you have dust particles or ice crystals, you can precipitate rain. It condenses around the seeds. These seeds can also be created by laser beams. By firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions, and these ions act like seeds, like dust particles, bringing down rain and even lightning.
Go ahead.
Well, this fascinates me in part because, too, I remember reading the stories that China had used this during the Olympics, that the USSR had used this after Chernobyl to create rain clouds. I mean, did those really work then? We have some of these capabilities now?
Inconclusive. Even in the 60s, the CIA used this to bring down monsoons during the Vietnam War, to wash out the Viet Cong. Governments have been playing with this thing.
Alleged to.
Alleged to, right.
Yeah.
Now, we realize that for decades now, these governments have been alleged to have experimented with weather control, but nothing conclusive. This time we're bringing in the laws of physics rather than simply waving our hands and uttering mumbo-jumbo. We're actually using trillion-watt lasers now. And in the laboratory, sure enough, they precipitate rain out of water vapor. Sure enough, you can actually bring down electricity down the beam.
So what does it mean for drought areas that need to have rain for crops, and if they don't have them, there's the consequences of famine?
Well, the bad news is if it's a clear blue sky, it's not going to do anything at all, because it only takes water vapor that's already in the air and condenses it. However, for floods, for agriculture, farmers, for people planning wedding parties, football games, you name it, outdoor events and agriculture and flooding and even hurricanes, all of them could be subject to weather modification.
Incredibly interesting, Professor Michio Kaku. Thank you so much.
Now, that's a news clip from 9 years ago. And you hear the guy explaining stuff, and now fast forward, and even if anything they showed on the news 9 years ago, they've had that technology for 20 years prior to that, before they release it to the public. They're having rain in Egypt. You know, they have agriculture there now. Saudi Arabia has agriculture. All these places that were deserts are now flourishing. You see different weather patterns that don't make sense, like in Texas last year where they had the weird snow that was like artificial, you know, and then right after the Hawaii situation, then they help us, they hope to distract us with California, Hurricane Hillary. See, they try to divert attention from Hawaii to California to make people forget so that the narrative changes. And you look at that like, okay, hurricane in California, flooding. Come on, man. You think we're stupid? I mean, this is the type of games the media plays, and they don't question. They don't question it because they're told what to do. They just report what they're told. And so when I look at this, and then I look at, like I said, the political, and everybody's, well, they got to go through Congress and do this and that. Dude, they shoveled billions over to where, and shit, that didn't take a whole long time. When they had Hurricane Katrina, same thing. They were supposed to put money over there. But they were people they didn't give a damn about. Those black folks over there, they didn't care because they wanted that property. Half the people were dying in the stadiums, weren't getting food and none of that, but yet they were saying, oh, we're gonna do something. Man, look, I see things for what they are, and I'm not stupid to think that life is black and white. There's always a gray area, and there's shit that goes on that is not going to be explained by the television, the program box. You got to kind of think outside the box. And if you read and you understand that there's narrative in the agendas, that things that play out, but it's not to say that people can't think and come to their own conclusions to see that, hey man, this shit ain't right and we need to speak out. There's a handful of them and there's a mass of us. But the mass don't get together and work together to get anything done. And then the people they have in positions are nothing but placeholders. The warning system didn't work. It didn't go off because we didn't want people to run uphill towards the fire. The water was turned off. Come on, man. You mean to tell? There's no way, man. These people run tests. You got the most advanced system in the world, and all of a sudden it just fails. Cars burn up. People are missing. Come on, man. And you got no comment, and you got, there's no other politicized narratives as far as people talking about, let's help Hawaii, fundraiser. You don't see nothing. You don't see no celebrities, no Hollywood. Usually when shit happen, right, you get, oh, man, we got to go save. These are our people. I'm not from Hawaii, but I have family over there. But those are our people, right? They're Americans. Where's the help? Where's the help for Hawaii, man? Why is it attached to Ukraine? What do they got to do with that? Why can't it have its own? This shit, man, people got to wake up, man. You got to wake up at some point. You want to stay asleep, then, God, man, go night-night. Go night-night and wake up in a prison on the street where your food is siphoned to you in small rations, and you're basically controlled, and you watch and you cheer for those who are ruling over you. I'm not with that shit. So I don't know. I'm just sharing with you guys. I see stuff like this and it makes me think about what goes on today. I have no proof that there was any lasers or anything, malfeasance going on, but I know some shit just doesn't add up. The water didn't work. There is no reserves being deployed over there to help do search and rescue. I haven't seen anything. Have you? Doesn't add up, man. Big Herc 916. Go to bigherc916.com and purchase you a bar of soap, one of the books I've written, a hat, a beanie, a t-shirt, tank top, or some detail spray for your car. I didn't start off as a bad kid. Officially, I only got one real spanking my entire life. My mom did the best a 14-year-old could do, raising me with love and instilling values that will last a lifetime. I was a straight A student and lived to make her happy. So how did I go astray? A horrible stepdad that stole my self-worth and invoked fear turned me into a person that I struggled to overcome. From skateboarding to selling drugs, gang banging in juvenile hall, I got caught the same way many young promising men get caught up. I struggled to find my identity, getting mixed up in shootouts, crime, and the adult entertainment industry. This roller coaster continued as I juggled college, hustling, and Hollywood, eventually catching a federal bank robbery case. I found redemption in prison, while serving a 120-month federal sentence and came out a man on a mission. I became a social media influencer with over 500 million views on YouTube and a life coach mentoring people all over the world. This is my journey against all odds.